30 shots in the first two. And how about this one? In just one half of action, they've given up 13 shots. The Irish with 13 shots so far in this game. Really just dominating and penetrating that goal area and doing a nice job getting the ball up and close, front and center to the keeper, Kuzminski.
Yeah, the Irish just always attacking. As you said, 13 shots there, 5 on goal. UAB has to do a better job maybe controlling possession, lifting the ball up more towards the Irish zone, because the Irish right now are, like you said, dominating.
And I think one of the questions that maybe warrants to be asked right now is, where's Freddie Ruiz, a top 20 player in the country, according to Top Drawer Soccer, battling on the other side with Patrick Hodan, another one of the top players. Hodan with 2 shots so far, Ruiz with 1, but not too many possessions. He hasn't really seen touches or seen the ball at his feet all that often when you're talking about Ruiz.
Yeah, no, he had that one opportunity, and we haven't seen him since, really. He's going to be key in the second half. They need to get him going, just small passes maybe, get him in rhythm. It's going to be key here for the Blazers.
So second half now underway. Nobody with multiple shots on this Blazers team. The Irish have 3 of them in Gallagher, Farina, and Hodan. 8 different shooters on this Notre Dame team thus far. We talked to Bobby Clark. He said it's going to be scoring by committee for this Irish team. So far, it's been just that. No multiple scores for Notre Dame thus far on the season. The only one for UAB is Svanteson.
Yeah, saw Svanteson there on the defense. Just that wide range he can play with. Shut down the attack there. Clear the ball upfield. Looks like now the Irish have momentum again. Maybe slowly build themselves up again.
Once again, UAB coming into this game as a team receiving votes. 1-2 on the season. They've dropped the last 2 games. Started the season with a 3-1 win over Memphis. Then lost 3-0, shut out by Stetson. And then this team on Friday lost 2-1 to Indiana. The Blazers now facing national champions in 2 of the last 3 seasons. Indiana won it back in 2012, the Irish in 2013.
Yeah, UAB getting tested here early in the season, playing a top 20 Indiana team on Friday, and then the top 5 team here in Notre Dame.
The Irish trying to chase it down to Lakawecki. Mark Gormley starting the second half. Here's Pankin, a little shimmy shake. Goes to the center outside the box, bending in, but not far enough.
Yeah, he wanted to get a shot off there. Good job by the UAB defense to kind of cut him off there. Couldn't get a great angle on the goal, but a nice shot nonetheless.
Valverde tried to get his arm on Evan Pankin. Pankin looking to square up that time. Sends it wide of the net, wide right, but that's the second shot on the afternoon by Pankin. In exhibition play, UAB tied Louisville. Preseason ranked 18th. That game was 3-3. Went into penalty kicks. UAB lost it there. But a good effort. This team was blown out, however, by number 11 Clemson. 5-1 was the score of that one. The Irish with Clemson on the horizon. Those 2 teams will be playing next weekend here on ESPN3.
Yeah, that'll start a tough ACC slate for the Irish. A lot of ranked teams ahead.
Svanteson. UAB on that far side. Deep in the box. Good look by Sposito.
Yeah, and Hodan did a good job of not letting that become a corner. And then somehow got the Irish possession back.
Sposito, injured last year. He's a junior out of Brazil. Started at the beginning of last season. That injury really shelled him for some time. Now in 2015, looking to be one of the mainstay starters, the head coach Mike Getman. The Irish building, working towards the box once again. Valverde all over Hewlin. Hewlin trying to absorb that contact. He gives it up to Hodan.
Yeah, good body control for a freshman there.
Senior captain, what can he do? Looks for a teammate on the backside. Two outstretched hands by Kuzminski. Got a tip of it. The ball's still loose.
Yeah, it looks like Kuzminski was waiting for someone to come there. Fortunately, no one was beyond him on the Irish side. Put that ball in.
James Ungo eventually takes it away. Started the last 8 games of the season for the Blazers last year. He's entered this game as a sub. Maybe just a piece of that one. Once again, nobody there on the far side.
Yeah, good camera work there by our crew. Kind of see that angle better. But like you said, Rich, no one on that other side.
Hankin and Hodan with 2 shots each. After they combined for 35 points last season, Hodan called for offsides against Indiana. Otherwise, he would have had a goal. Looks like it'll be a corner kick for the Irish upcoming.
Yeah, what a play by Lakota. Just was able to get a beautiful tackle in there with his shoulder, able to control the ball, and forced a corner. Just those little things now setting up a corner can cause dangerous opportunities here for the Irish.
Gallagher, meanwhile, 7 shots over the course of this weekend. 4 shots and a goal on Friday. 20 points combined last season by the 2 young forwards, Farina and Gallagher. Knocked out with a header by Valverde. 5 corner kicks versus 4. The corners have been very prevalent. Kicked away, kick save out of the box by Kuzminski.
Yeah, good penetration there by Hodan, but Kuzminski with a great save.
Michael Shipp, can he add to his goal scoring total? Standing his ground nicely, now trying to protect that ball with his body on the ground. It was Chandler Stroop, the sophomore out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Again here early in the second half. Seeing a lot of possession here for the Irish.
Lakota. Once again, 7 assists combined for him over the last 2 years. Named to the IU Classic All-Tournament team last weekend, Connor Lakota. Francis Patrick O'Connor, award winner last season as the student athlete who most exemplifies the Notre Dame spirit. Here's Max Lakowecki, converging a couple of UAB defenders. It goes to Pankin. The Irish still not done. Finally taking it away is Sposito. Look at this, the intensity by the Irish to continue to battle for possessions. They've done it so well, did it well in the first half. That led to a lot of opportunities on UAB's side of the field, but that's really how you have to do it. It doesn't just happen on its own. You have to work hard for those possessions and to establish the offensive sets.
Yeah, we saw that just there. Evan Pankin forcing another turnover. We've seen a lot more turnovers here by UAB in the latter half of this game so far. Irish again just controlling that possession, being able to play their game.
15 shots now for the Irish. That's a season high. Softly rolling into the box at the feet of Kuzminski. Kuzminski, 6 shutouts last season. A 1.14 goals against average. He's been under duress quite a bit throughout the early parts of this year. Now 20 saves on the year for Kuzminski in the early part of his junior season.
Yeah, he's going to have a big impact on this year's team for UAB. We've mentioned it earlier, just to be able to cover a lot of space. And that goal had a few diving saves early in the first half. Done well.
Here we go, another look for the Irish. Pankin will drop it in. Can he get another assist? Pankin to Lakawecki. The Irish with the near goal knocked away by Gormley as Hewland was ultra close. Hodan now off the head of the defender and finally drops into the arms of Kuzminski. Svantesson there on the follow-up by Patrick Hodan, the captain.
There you see the advantage of being 6'6". Here you free Svantesson with his first block on the two shots, and then unfortunately Gormley gets in the way there.
That probably would have been a goal, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely. Wrong place, wrong time, unfortunately.
Thomas Hewland nearly with his second goal of the year.
And then you see here again, Svantesson being that tall, gets in the way. Great defensive effort there by UAB. Was able to clear that ball eventually. Just being able to block shots and got a little help from the Irish.
Besides the goal, that's the best Irish offensive set and near goal chance that they've had on the afternoon. Here you see 18 shots, the Irish continuing to pepper that goal area. Season high in shots after this team recorded just 16 of those all of last weekend. Good bounce back effort here at home. Lakota strong with that shoulder. Lays it straight into Esposito. Looks like the whistle was blown.
Yeah, it was. Maybe a little too hard, but again, I thought it was a good tackle, good effort. He's shown he can do that quite well.
Let's see it once again. Just a little push from behind. That allowed Lakota to gain the possession initially.
Yeah, it didn't look like it was shoulder on shoulder there, which would have been legal. It looked more like shoulder on the back of the UAB player. That's why the whistle was blown.
Certainly did not avert the gaze of the officials. As now UAB will try its own opportunity. Rushing in was Dejani, but out of bounds. And a goal kick looks like will be upcoming for the Irish.
Yeah, Dejani did a good job there. Unfortunately, it looks like the ball went off his, ricocheted off him after he had tried to put it in. You see the replay here. Yep.
Aubrey a little late to get there, but provided enough for the Irish to force that ball to take that out-of-bounds hit. Once again, Brandon Aubrey, strong effort last weekend. One of the most key forces for the Irish in those two shutouts over Maryland. Now in the top 10 when you talk about Maryland, and then Indiana as well in that 1-0 double overtime win.
Yeah, and how about Maryland beating number 1 UCLA on Friday? So that tie looks even better.
Here's a shot off the bar again. This one goes off the post. UAB just with some bad luck here this afternoon, Nick.
Yeah, the Irish again just getting luck from the posts. All season long so far, but good play there by UAB, but it happened too fast. Looks like the Irish defenders were caught napping.
Not just the atmosphere, but also the goals have been friendly to the Irish on the offensive and defensive side. Look at that. Off the inner post.
Yeah, wow, Ruiz, we talked about him earlier. He needs to be active. Just off the post.
Oh, so close. Checking in, William White, one of the starters. He's back in. Taken away nicely by Gormley on Svantesson. UAB only one home game thus far. That was against Stetson. The Blazers will return home against UIC. It'll be on September 11th. Just over a half hour remaining in this game. Here you see it once again. You profiled it. Number 1 going down, Nick. Number 2, a member of the ACC in Virginia, but Maryland with a huge victory over UCLA. And you just see how close really the top 10 is in college soccer as number 1 goes down in the early season.
Yeah, and then the strength of the Irish Conference, the ACC, so many teams there in the top 25. 24-3-4 overall this season. Just a tough conference. It's going to make for an exciting season in the ACC.
Yeah, 5 ACC teams in the top 10. Virginia should move up as the top team in the country. 8 first-place votes coming into this game. Then you have the Irish at number 5. North Carolina checking in as the 4th team in the country. Maryland should move up as well. Currently number 6, and then Clemson at number 9.
Yeah, Clemson, who the Irish play next, and you see their full list of the top 25. Louisville and Wake Forest rounding out that top 25 for the Irish or for the ACC.
When you count St. Louis, the Irish will play 9 of their first 10 games against ranked teams. Clemson and Xavier follow this one. Those are 2 teams once again in the top 10. Xavier rounding out the top 10. Then North Carolina, Michigan State in the top 25. And then the big one against Virginia.
Yeah, we got some great Notre Dame soccer coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Meanwhile, a big matchup on September 18th for UAB as the Blazers will take on the unbeaten South Carolina Gamecocks. That ball has some hang time. Aubrey waited for it. Out of bounds, about to throw it in, will be James on go.
Looks like Carl Chester is checking back into the game for UAB. But for UAB, 3 shots off the crossbar and the post. Frustrating, but you got to stay focused, play to their game. They're obviously getting chances, so now they just got to continue. I mentioned Carl Chester back in the game. He's going to be a key to try to get the ball moving to the wings, maybe get some crosses inside. They want to get back into this game.
Chester, Svanteson, and Ruiz, the key offensive forces for this team, at least on paper, coming into this year. Ruiz with 22 points and 10 goals last season. Svanteson had 4, has 2 this year. And then Carl Chester with a goal and an assist thus far on the season. Here's to the upcoming schedule for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Pair of contests against the top 10. The schedule absolutely brutal when you look at it, Nick. Clemson, Xavier, top 5 North Carolina, Michigan State in between the Tar Heels and the Cavaliers.
Yeah, these are all on ESPN, or most of them are all on ESPN networks. Just a tough slate overall, but the Irish are looking forward to it. Always good to play ranked opponents, obviously, to build resumes. And
some prime soccer coming up for you. The Irish 6-1-1 in conference play last season. You can watch many of those games only on ESPN3. Rich Heide alongside Nick Valdesari here with you this afternoon. 1 goal by the Irish. Got started just before the 20-minute mark. And some close calls beyond that. There we go. Gallagher back at it. Sends a fireball wide of the goal, wide left. John Gallagher, the sophomore, All-ACC freshman last year, along with his teammate Farina, getting back into the action. Team leader in shots so far.
Yeah, see the left foot kind of crept behind the defense. Good shot, just a little left.
The Irish looking for a smooth victory after the first 2 games came in double overtime. Notre Dame trying to preserve its unbeaten season. 2013, this team won 17 games at just 1 loss on the year. Very impressive. Took a small step back last year. 12 wins for the Irish. not too shabby making it to the round of 16, but this team certainly would have wanted more. And Bobby Clark trying to be the guy to push this team to its goals and deep into the NCAA tournament once again.
Beautiful play by Hodan to get the ball clear there.
In open space, though, a nice takeaway by Esposito. Impressive one-on-one effort.
Yeah, I may have jinxed him there. We haven't seen a lot of... We saw that shot just a moment ago from Gallagher, but UAB doing a better job of limiting Irish chances. They obviously had a shot off the post a few minutes ago themselves. Still controlling, though, are the Irish, possession-wise.
Ten points for the Irish thus far on the season. A bouncer into Kuzminski once again. A lot of different players getting involved in the action once again. No multiple goal scorer yet. You've had Gallagher, Euland, Aubrey, and now Ship score. And those aren't even really your top two scorers that returned from last year when you talk about Patrick Hodan. And then one of the other guys, we certainly have profiled as well, the midfielder, Evan Pankin. They've been involved to set up a number of plays. Pankin getting on the board with that assist. But neither of those guys have scored just yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, Rich, and that might not be a bad sign at all when you can leave other guys to score because you know they're going to get theirs. So that balance is something Coach Bobby Clark will definitely be happy with.
And I certainly think the value is there for those offensive pieces. We talked to Bobby Clark, and he mentioned the value of the forward spot. Lakawecki tried to get it over to Hodan, coming in very quickly. Kuzminski was eyeing the ball intensely.
See another turnover by UAB. The Irish now maybe a chance to transition their offense.
Half the goals scored by the forwards this year, half the goals scored by the defenders for the Irish. Bobby Clark said you can teach defense, but really at the end of the day, you need those guys up front that could be individual shot creators. This could be another one. Goal scored! John Gallagher with goal number 2 on the year. There's one of those individual creative players creating some offense, showing that strong leg with the left, and a little dance to cap it off.
Yeah, he's a good dancer, but great shooter as well. Just a fabulous goal. A hard strike, no chance for the goalie Kuzminski, and unfortunately UAB a little unlucky there again. On the clear, went right to Gallagher. Gallagher took care of the rest.
Not much time at all. Off the foot to the back of the net. That's a firm strike. Set up by guess who? Michael Ship. Ship, it clanged off the foot of the defender, Svanteson. There to clean it up, John Gallagher. If he has that much space, he's going to score nearly 100% of the time.
Yeah, and you see Svanteson's really upset with himself after that. You know, it was important to get a foot on the ball because there are a lot of Irish coming into the zone. But unfortunately, right to Gallagher, and Gallagher's not going to miss those often.
So that certainly pleases the crowd here at Alumni Stadium. Goal in the 67th minute, second goal of the year by John Gallagher. The Irish now with 4 goals over the course of this tournament.
Yeah, and they're starting to score now. And it's been quite wonderful to see. These 4 goals, like you said, in this tournament alone. And as they enter ACC play, that offense is going to be vital.
So now 3 goals set forth by the forwards. The depth of the forward spot on display. You can spell a guy like John Gallagher with Thomas Euland. Euland and Gallagher now working together. Farina back in there. We've seen Gormley as well. That certainly pleases Bobby Clark because those are the real weapons that you have to have in your arsenal to be an effective offensive team. It's really about continuously improving on both sides, but especially offensively. Just being patient, waiting for those opportunities to come, and letting the magic kind of work itself out, as it has this weekend for Notre Dame. 5 times last year, the Irish scored 3 or more goals. Once against Virginia in the ACCs. These were against some pretty good teams. Virginia, Duke, Virginia Tech, and Louisville. All those games came in October or later. So it does take some time, but eventually Notre Dame broke through. Trip up by UAB and Ryan Sullivan, who's entered the game. He's the transfer from Clemson, a sophomore coming in and riding Hodan a little bit too strong.
Yeah, he put his right foot kind of almost as a trip placement. So not a good play there. Sets up for a free kick here. Maybe something the Irish can make happen.
This is a UAB team that certainly knows a thing or two about offense when you look at the historical data. 2013 led the nation in scoring, having some trouble against the top teams. Here's a chip shot into the box. Aubrey trying to get there. That's what you need to do to get over the head of Svantesson.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of sneaky there, but Aubrey obviously very, very good with his head. Good opportunity to see the replay. Chester was able to manifest there, and it looks like it's going to be an Irish corner.
Yeah, with that wall, it left the far side open with a one-on-one opportunity between Chester and Aubrey. Pankin will take this corner kick for the Irish. Here it comes, way high, way far. Farina, Aubrey over the crossbar.
And there's Aubrey once again, but Farina with a great header to kind of cross it back in, more to the middle of the box, like we've said multiple times. Aubrey very fearless with his head.
Here you see Farina to Aubrey over the outstretched arms of Joe Kosminski. Let's go down to the field where our own Laura Thomas is standing by. Laura.
Thanks, Rich. ACC play is just around the corner for the Irish, and they have some tough opponents to look forward to just in this first week alone. ACC teams went 24-3-4, and they outscored their opponents 57-19. They also had 10 shutouts across the conference, so definitely a pretty strong conference. And Notre Dame opens up their conference play against Clemson. That's next Saturday on ESPN3, and Notre Dame will be on ESPN3 all season, so make sure to check them out.
Everybody paying attention to the ACC this season. As we talked about it, number 1 going down. UCLA fell earlier today. There's the trip up of Patrick Hodan by Ungo. And now another set piece look. The last one almost fruitful for the Irish. It'll be Hodan and Pankin standing over there.
Yeah, crossing this ball. You want to keep it away from Svantesson, which they did last time. See what they do here.
2-man wall. And look at that. Nice save. Diving to his left. Laying out completely for that one.
Yeah.
Was Kosminski.
Yeah, and instead of crossing it, we saw a shot there. Good power on the shot. The left, just great save there by Kosminski.
Hodan took it. Patrick Hodan. Mac Herman Award watch list. The top player in the nation, along with Freddie Ruiz. Last Notre Dame player to win that award. Won it all the way back in 2006. Farina, can he tag team it again? Looking for Klokota. The Irish with it, and they score! Another opportunity, and the Irish break down the door.
Oh, wow, what an angle as we see another dancing move here by Klokota, but just the angle to get that off. Farina with another cross in the header, but somehow Klokota gets the ball and somehow turns around and just fires that one in the net. And again, Kosminski, the goalkeeper for the Blazers, had no chance.
Look at that. Nicely done by Connor Klokota, one of the captains out of Amherst, Ohio. Connor Klokota, a goal in each of the last couple of years. That's his first goal here of 2015. First couple of points recorded for him. He just turns around, faces the goal, and knocks it through.
Yeah, tough angle. Great play here by number 20, Blake Towns, to kind of get that ball into Lakota, and Lakota did the rest. But again, just a tough angle. Did it exceptionally.
Connor Klokota, 5 points in 2013, 6 points last season. Now on the board for the Irish this year. And we talked about it, Nick, but When you have the ball bouncing around there, kind of ping-ponging in the box, who knows what could happen. If you're the defense, you need to clear it out as quickly as possible. UAB unable to do so, and the Irish capitalize.
Yeah, we've seen that here in the whole second half, even when there weren't goals, but a lot of opportunities. The clearing has just not been very effective, or at least there's been 2 or 3 opportunities per attack. So, like you said, Rich, just great job by consistently and constantly staying on top, the Irish, but UAB needs more consistency in the backfield to get it out.
Assist coming by Blake Towns. He notches assist number 2 on the season. First one came on the game winner against IU last weekend. 23 shots for the Irish, 5 shots for UAB. Ruiz with 2 of those. For the Irish, Gallagher and Hodan have 5 shots apiece.
And the Irish are starting to pour it on here.
Looking for more. Most of the starters still in there, high in the air. Hodan closing in, but Kuzminski went straight up, vertical leap.
And just about 15 minutes ago, we were close to a 1-1 tie, and the Irish responded very well off the post miss from Ruiz. And notched 2 goals since, and now take a demanding 3-0 lead.
The Irish with more shots on goal now. And the total shot total for UAB. 9 shots on goal for the Irish, 5 shots total for UAB.
Yeah, almost doubled it. Very impressive for the Irish. And again, just the second half, we just haven't seen a lot of possession or control from UAB. A lot of turnovers in the midfield. Credit the Irish for that, absolutely. It's been leading to a dominant performance.
Kuzminski has more saves than UAB does shots. 6 saves for Kuzminski. He may have to make another one. The Irish rushing up. Hodan, can he score? No, shoots it wide. Prime time matchup as it was Hodan against Svantesson, wide left.
And wouldn't it have been sweet if Hodan could have gotten his name on the scorer sheet. He's played so well today. Fortunately, just a little left. But again, the Irish just full on attack.
May have tipped off the glove of Kuzminski. Chris Hubbard, meanwhile, just 1 save for him. Lawson Kreider checking in, the junior, number 23. Transfer from Carl Sandberg, led the nation in goals back in 2013. Before he transferred to UAB, a late substitution trying to generate some offense. Another look for the Irish. Pankin was there. It was from Gallagher. He's trying to distribute now and facilitate some offense. Matthew Laurent. Another Conference USA all-freshman. Now into the game. 17 starts last year for him. He provided some support. Hubbard steps up. Yeah. Finally some Chris Hubbard action.
Right? Yeah, Lars Williams with a good cross there. Fortunately, no one was able to get in, penetrate the box fast enough for the Blazers. But yeah, like you said, Hubbard getting some action here. He hasn't seen a lot in the second half, other than that 1 post miss for Ruiz.
That's exactly what you want if you're Notre Dame. You don't really want his name called too often. The keeper there really has the ultimate backing for the overall team, but the Irish have won the possession time and really have, quite frankly, dominated that category. Starts with the back line and then the midfielders. And here come the shot chances. John Gallagher. Nobody has been able to stand him up. Nobody has been able to keep pace with him. John Gallagher now has 6 shots, tied for the lead with Hodan.
Yeah, look at this. Right between the legs of the defender there. Beautiful shot just off the post. He's so fluid with the ball, able to create his own chances. It's always nice having someone that can do so.
And that's Barry Sonnen's chain, too, the sophomore with an assist on the season out of the Netherlands. One of the top defenders on this team. There you see Freddie Ruiz. What can he do? The senior from Alabama. 2 shots in this game. UAB's needed much more than that.
Yeah, unfortunately, both of his shots have been ricocheted off a crossbar or a post. Well, he's needed more touches overall.
Williams High and wide. Throwing upcoming. Just over 12 and a half minutes left. Lars Williams, a little anxious to send that ball into the box. The junior 6'3" defender. 5 assists last year for him. Another native of the Netherlands. 25 shots on the game for Notre Dame. Now double-digit shots in each of the last 2 games. And 5 combined goals for the Irish against 2 good teams. Number 24 USF, as Ruiz bobbled it there. And then a team receiving votes in UAB. Gallagher declined the one-on-one against Fonteson.
Yeah, we'll see if the Irish may take a step back. 3-goal lead.
Lakowecki taken away by Ruiz. Pankin. Svantesson. Svantesson still trailing behind. Pankin will tip it off his foot. Another corner kick upcoming for Notre Dame. It'll be corner number 8. The Irish have doubled the corner total against the Blazers. An organization really close to home for head coach Bobby Clark. Grassroots soccer founded in 2002 by Tommy Clark, Bobby Clark's oldest son. The Irish went to Zimbabwe in the summer of 2014, learned about the organization, and really helped out firsthand. But it does a great job, some great work over in Africa to prevent the spread of HIV, which is really a devastating disease over there. Now into the game for Notre Dame, it'll be Kyle Diedrich. His brother Sean also on the team. Sophomore out of Connecticut. He'll check in for the Irish. Final 10 minutes. Notre Dame certainly a happy bunch with 3 goals, a season high here this afternoon. Notre Dame breaks that stalemate with just 1 goal over the course of last weekend. Came in the final minute as well.
Yeah, their scoring has come to fruition here.
Diedrich gets it back to Gallagher.
He wants more.
Gallagher being a little greedy, but the Irish can certainly appreciate it in this situation. Nothing wrong with continuing to shoot and continuing to be one of the stars on this team. And a young star at that, just a sophomore. Bodan, a little too aggressive. It'll go the other way. Notre Dame in its 39th year as a program, 33 winning seasons, and if the Irish can play out these final 9 minutes with the lead, it will be program win number 500.
A huge milestone for a program that's really come a far way in just the last decade and a half.
Yeah, you talk about really the last decade and a half, as you mentioned. But, Nick, this team with 13 of the last 14 years, double-digit wins, 17 total NCAA appearances, 6 conference titles, and 16 National All-American honorees. Quite an impressive resume.
Yeah, absolutely. And it all starts with head coach Bobby Clark.
2012 Big East champions. The Irish make the switch over to the ACC. And it's continued from there. Tremendous success. Last 2 regular season championships.
Yeah, talk about entering a tough conference, too, and just being able to do so well here as well in the ACC. Made for a great program here as they will enter the ACC play this upcoming week.
Strong pass by Williams. Dejani with a look, but Klokota, the midfielder, was right there behind him.
Yeah, Dejaney was trying to get to Ruiz, but the Irish defense did a good job of closing him out. Still have a corner here as Williams crosses it.
Williams with the cross inside the box. Aubrey, among others, was there. Berneski got the header on it. Gallagher, don't want to give him any space. Ryan Sullivan and Gallagher will slow up. The Irish now just trying to pass the ball around and play some keep away. Controlling possession is the ultimate goal here. Here come the Irish into the box. Left back to right. Nice job to cross it to Gallagher. 2 goals on the afternoon. John Gallagher.
Well, we've seen John all over the place, but that play is credited to Blake Towns. What a beautiful move to stop, tricked every single defender, and found a streaking Gallagher, and Gallagher did the rest.
3 assists now on the year for Blake Towns. 2 assists in this game.
Yeah.
Sophomore for the Irish.
It's huge. You see that little stop and go. And Gallagher, beautiful shot. He's not going to miss those. We've said that many times. He's not going to miss those opportunities. That was another tough play for Kuzminski, as he's just had an outpour of shots here in the second half.
Of course, you credit John Gallagher for stepping up and being in the right situation that time. Good positioning inside the box, but how about the Irish being able to set up all those goals? Assist by Farina, Pankin, and then 2 for Blake Towns, sophomore to sophomore, that last one.
Yeah, if the Irish score a goal, I can almost guarantee you there's going to be an assist on the score sheet as well. Just great ball movement, great chemistry. Been able to cross the ball very well here today.
Takeaway by Oliver Harris. Behind Gallagher, he may have had another strong look. Try to find his teammate. That's actually Patrick Connolly who's checked in. Another midfielder out of Connecticut. Above and over the net. Here comes the backup goalkeeper for the Irish. Brian Talcott, the senior, now in the game. The Irish with 3 healthy goalkeepers now on the roster, 24 field players. Everybody practiced on Wednesday, including this young man, Brian Talcott. And we talked to Bobby Clark about the importance of having at least 2 strong goalkeepers. One of those is Brian Talcott.
Yeah, the depth here for Mr. Clark, the head coach, just tremendous, and you see it there in the goalkeepers.
Odan. Lee try to get on the board. Tripped up from behind, Carl Chester. The Irish with 6 players with 2 shots or more, UAB with just 1. Notre Dame approaching the 30-shot mark. The team has 27 currently and 10 shots on goal, 8 corner kicks. The offensive stats just really jump off the page.
Yeah, incredible. It'll be good for 3 games total. They've done it here, all here in 1.
Odan, past Valverde, doing whatever he wants. Now Euland. Great positioning, though, by the defender. It was Svanteson. He's the last resort for UAB. Does his job well.
Yeah, we've seen him in all facets of the game today.
4 goals for Notre Dame, though. That's probably enough to win almost any game.
It certainly should be, Rich.
4 minutes left to go in this game. The Irish scored 4 goals 3 times last year. Once against Dartmouth. At the very early goings of the season, actually a year ago from today. Then at Duke, Notre Dame won 4-1. And at Pittsburgh, 4-1 as well. Here's a good look. With that right foot. The Irish with the wall, though. Chester with the shot.
Yeah, frustrating finish to that play right there. He found himself penetrating the left side of the box. Shot got blocked there by an Irish defender.
Should be a good opportunity for UAB to return to the comfort of its home venue. 4 home games in a row coming up for the Blazers.
Yeah, unfortunately not a successful trip to South Bend in the Mike Bertoselli tournament. Well, it looked like 2 losses here. But they should not keep their heads down. They played 2 great teams in the state of Indiana. And as Conference USA approaches, it's going to be vital for them to keep their heads up and play their offense style.
Aaron Getman Pickering checking in, the nephew of the coach, Mike Getman. UAB with a lot to work on in the upcoming practices. The Blazers fall in this one. They will be 1-3 on the season. The Irish looking to progress to 3-0-1 on the year. Also checking in for Notre Dame, Danny Lojek, senior midfielder. He's been a spot starter over the last couple of years. 10 starts. Small in stature, but very quick. And he's played in moments for Bobby Clark. Straight into the chest of the keeper, Brian Talcott.
Talcott happy to have the ball in his hands.
He'll hold it as long as he can as the seconds continue to tick away. No shutouts in the first 3 matches for Notre Dame since 1995, and they may very well make it 4, along with the 4 goals scored here this afternoon.
Yeah, that's definitely been one of the more impressive things the Irish have done here in the early goings of the season. It's not only just been their goalkeeper that's had many saves, Hubbard that is, but their defense and midfield are just controlling the ball and being able to defend quite well.
So once again, Notre Dame with a showdown next weekend against Clemson. Clemson coming in as the 9th-ranked team in the nation. And a few days later, it'll be Xavier before the Irish hit the road and head to Chapel Hill for a matchup against North Carolina. Really an advantage for this Notre Dame team to stay within the state of Indiana for multiple games in the early portion of the season.
Yeah, especially when you play such a tough slate. You got to continue playing their game. You see a foul there, hard foul there.
Getman Pickering with the foul. Final 30 seconds. Thomas Hewland still in there, still involved for the Irish. Final 20 seconds left here at Alumni Stadium. Lakowecki will send it. Trying to hit Kyle Diedrich. Taken away for the final time, maybe, by UAB. UAB running away the seconds. And that'll be it as the whistle blows and the game is over. Win number 500 for the Irish. Bobby Clark, a smiling man as he shakes the hand of the officials.